Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. And tonight, sort of a Thanksgiving special episode, more of just a get together and talk. 3 points: gratitude, friendship, and Kiss, because this is it. This is my beginning of the end of the road of Kiss being a touring band. And so I thought tonight, given the Thanksgiving holiday, we would get together, share some gratitude, share some nostalgia, share some wax. Starting off with gratitude, I just want to touch base on Phantom of the Park. We just had the 45th anniversary of Phantom of the Park, October 28th. We received nothing from Kiss. No merch, no nothing. I made a video a while back of my dream box set. Not even close. We got nothing. But that's okay. I didn't expect we would. But I do have huge gratitude for this film, and it amplified this year. This year, my wife and I went to the Haunt attraction at our local amusement park, Worlds of Fun. And it was a super cool year, very cool crowds. The weather was perfect. A couple nights it was actually like super cold, which made it great. And when you park in overflow parking, there you actually enter the park through Oceans of Fun, which is the water park that is obviously closed in the fall. And there is something so Phantom of the Park about walking through that section of a closed park at night. Totally reminds me of the security guards when Gene busts down the wall. And that just really amplified my love of this movie. This movie kind of meant more to me this year than it normally has. And I don't know if it's a combination of just the year we've kind of had here, or just embracing things more as we get older. Which leads me into the end of the road. We are all now seeing our last Kiss shows as they are doing their final run of the US dates. And that's like super heavy. It's super important. If you're like me, this is our life. This is what we've known since we were little kids, teenagers, and it's more than just a band to us. It's a way of life. It's a way of fun. And it's crazy to think that a week from today, I will be getting on a plane to go to New York with my best friend to see our final Kiss show. I'm grateful for that. And that's where what I mentioned earlier about enjoying things and embracing things more as we get older comes into play. I think with the basement and just being older, I've talked to Dan a lot, and he agrees, like, you know, I'm going to be 50 next year. He'll be 54. If we're lucky, we have 25 more years to live? If we're lucky, and blessed if it's beyond that. And it's strange to think that, like, your time here is limited. And it's not morbid. I'm not being, dark when I say this, but it is time to really stop the anxiety, stop always thinking about the future. Enjoy today. Enjoy right now. Like, I'm going to, much like I did with Halloween, I'm going to milk everything I can out of every holiday. Like Christmas, when we go into Christmas this year, I'm going to milk every ounce of fun out of it I possibly can. In fact, I have already been playing the 1956 Elvis record. So I'm already in the spirit. I'm already milking it. And the same goes with Kiss. Touring Kiss may not go on past December 2nd, but I will always be a Kiss fan. I am doing the same thing today that I did when I was 14 years old. So life is pretty freaking awesome. My Friday nights consist of Mexican food, horror movies, and Kiss, and dogs. That was my life when I was 14. That's my life when I'm 49. To me, that is, to quote a Jimmy Stewart movie, it's a wonderful life. So I have no regrets, and I am only going to have fun from here on out. My new life resolution, I guess, is stop worrying about work, start saying fuck it more, and just have fun every single freaking day. Dogs, and celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. Musical gratitude-wise, I get super, super hot-faced for smashes, thrashes, and hits at Thanksgiving time. This is the picture disc version that I did not have as a kid. All I had as a kid was the compact disc version. This album was out when I became a fan, so this was my first grab, and this was my gateway drug. This album was my cliff notes into the band. This is where I learned everything about those early records. And this is the German version that actually contains Crazy Nights. And looking back in hindsight, this album should have included Crazy Nights because that was a huge song of the 80s, and it totally should have been included on there. I even think Reason to Live should have been on there, but that's just me. And then lastly, gratitude-wise on Smashes, my very first ever Kiss shirt. This isn't the actual one, I had to get this off eBay, but this is the Smashes, Thrashes, and Hits t-shirt that came out back then that also advertised a live tour in '89. And I love that. I love the fact that there was no tour. It was a Paul Stanley solo album tour that took place because Gene was having Nicholas at the time. And I love this shirt because, again, I look back at my life back then as a teenager going to high school wearing this shirt, and I felt like a badass. And I felt like I belonged to something. High school life up to that point wasn't the most fun, and becoming a Kiss fan and hanging out with Dan all the time was fun. So I had found my place. I also have kind of come to the realization, previously I always split up all my merch like 70s makeup merch and non-makeup merch. And now that I don't have a basement and I'm looking forward to having a basement again, I actually kind of think I'm just going to say fuck it. And, you know, Kiss is over. I'm a Kiss fan. I'm putting anything and everything I want up. There's going to be no order to it. The only sense of order it's going to be is it Kiss? And if it's Kiss, it's fun and it makes me happy. And I'm doing it. And kind of last note on the friendship tit that we were just talking about. It's been a year. I started the wax pack December of 2022. Sent it out to 3 people, unsolicited. And the whole goal of it was, if Danny thinks this is cool, I'm going to run with this. He loved it. He thought it was cool. That's kind of how I've always encountered every Kiss project I do. When I was 19, I wrote a review of every album, and I had it ready for Danny when he came up to my house the next day, and he liked it. And also my YouTube channel is basically me vicariously hanging out with Danny every Friday night. I basically make those videos for Dan, because that's what we did in high school. We hung out every Friday night. Taco Bell, horror movies, Kiss, dogs. So that's what this channel is. And it's just celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan on Friday nights. Next year, hopefully, Lord willing and the creek don't rise, Dan will be a co-host of It's All For You Demon as many times as we possibly can. It's going to actually be Danny and I on Friday nights. I'm looking forward to that. And the Wax Pack issue 4 of 2023 is all about friendship, and it's all about you guys. I requested people to send me in stories of their history and their friendships in history, and that's what it is. I write a winter wax about Dan, and then the rest of it is by you guys, Kiss fans, Wax Pack members, and I'm really looking forward to that to hit your doors this winter. Post the End of the Road tours, Wax Pack number 4, the end of 2023. I hope you enjoy it, and I've got some very cool plans for 2024 that will be included in this final issue, so be sure to check that out. And a final tidbit of this episode, a week from today, I am leaving for New York with my best friend Dan to see our final Kiss show. I will be wearing this sweatshirt. I love the sweatshirt. Probably the most fun thing I have bought from Kiss this year. Here's the back, listing all the final 50, countdown to final 50 shows. There's New York, Rosemont, where all the buddies will be, and then New York, where Dan and I, Chuck, Todd, will be for the final show. And if you would like a It's All For You Demon, Large Marge, Pee Wee, New York City final show button, look for me in this hoodie. And I'll have some of these buttons on me, on my person, and you can share some nostalgic wax celebrating Large Marge at the final show. Thank you for hanging with us tonight and waxing a little rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Wax Night living room. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. We will talk to you soon.